Dear students, welcome to Standard 9 Science and Technology Part 1. This is the fourth module of the chapter Laws of Motion. Let us recollect our previous module. We have learned that an object in uniform motion covers equal distances in equal time intervals. So, if you plot the graph between distance and time, you will get a straight line. In non-uniform motion, the distance changes non-uniformly with time, so we can expect a zigzag line which indicates that the speed is variable. For all uniformly accelerated motions, the velocity time graph will be a straight line, and for non-uniformly accelerated motion, the velocity time graph may have any shape depending on how the acceleration changes with time. When an object is moving with a constant speed along a circular path, the change in velocity is only due to the change in direction. So, we can say it is an accelerated motion. So, when an object moves with constant speed along a circular path, that motion is called as uniform circular motion. So, now let us move forward with the chapter. In this module, we will be learning exclusively about the equations of motion using graphical method, how we are going to derive it. But before that, let us learn Newton's equations of motion. So Newton, he studied motion of an object and gave a set of 3 equations of motion. So these relate the displacement of the moving object, its velocity, its acceleration and time of an object moving along a straight line. Suppose an object is in motion along a straight line with initial velocity u and it attains a final velocity v in the time t due to acceleration a, and its displacement is taken as s. Then the relation between velocity and time is given by the equation v is equal to u plus at. The relation between displacement and time is given in the equation s is equal to ut plus half at square, and the relation between displacement and velocity of the moving object is given as v square is equal to u square plus 2as. So children, let us start deriving it using graphical method. First, we are going to learn the equation describing the relation between velocity and time. How we are going to derive this equation using graphical method. Children, let us assume this is the figure that represents change in velocity with time of an uniformly accelerated object. You can see a straight line. This definitely indicates that the object is having a uniform accelerated motion. So the object starts from the point D and with velocity u. So since it is starting, the initial velocity is taken as u, and this here at point D the velocity is u, and the velocity keeps increasing. As you can follow this pink line, it increases, and after some time, let us take the time as t, it reaches the point B on the graph. The initial velocity of the object is u, which is equal to nothing but the distance OD. So this is where the object is having the initial velocity. Then the final velocity, that is after traveling a distance, it attains the final velocity. Let us take at the point B, it will be having a final velocity. So here when an object reaches here, the final velocity is going to be v, which is nothing but the distance OC. Time is taken as, so after reaching the point B, so this is the final velocity. Let us assume this is the time taken. The time taken is OE, which is nothing but T. So acceleration, we know the formula. Acceleration A is change in velocity. Change in velocity means it is final velocity minus initial velocity. This we have learned in the earlier of the chapter. So A is nothing but the difference between final velocity and initial velocity in the given time t. So here children, if you see, the final velocity is nothing but the distance OC. So this is the final velocity and OD is the initial velocity upon time t. So OC minus OD. If you observe this line, OC, so this is the total distance OC minus OD. So this is the distance OD. So we are going to see OC minus OD, which will be equal to CD. So if you minus that, the resulting it will be C and CD. So A will be equal to, so OC minus OD is CD. So we can write OC minus OD as CD. OC minus OD can be written as CD. So the formula changes as A is equal to CD upon T. So we can rearrange the equation and write CD is equal to AT. Let us consider this as equation number 1. Now let us draw a line parallel to the x-axis passing through D. So this is the parallel line. So this will cross the line BE. This will cross the line BE at the point A. So BE now can be written as you can see, I can write BE as AB plus AE. So this being split into 2. But we already know that V is equal to CD plus OD. If you compare these two signs, you can clearly see that CD is equal to AB and OD is equal to AE. So using this relationship, we can write V is equal to AT plus U because we have already derived the value of CD in equation 1, which is nothing but AT. So the point CD have been already derived. This value CD is nothing but A into T. And OD, we already know OD is equal to U. So therefore V becomes AT plus U. Or I can simply write V is equal to U plus AT. So this is the first equation of motion. You can clearly see the relationship between velocity and time here. So using graph, we have derived the relationship between velocity and time. This is Newton's first equation of motion. Now children, let us derive the next relationship, that is relationship between displacement and time. How we are going to derive it graphically. So let us suppose that an object in uniform acceleration A, it has covered the distance S with time t. So the distance covered by the object can be given by the area of the quadrangle D O, E, B. So this is the quadrangle. So the distance covered, we know that the distance covered is equal to the area of this quadrangle DOEB. If we observe, the area of the quadrangle DOEB contains two geometrical shapes. That is, it contains a rectangle DOEA and also a triangle DAB. So adding the area of these two, we can get the area of this quadrangle. So this is what we are going to do. We know the area of rectangle is length into breadth. Here the length is equal to nothing but AE and the breadth is nothing but OE. So instead of AE you can write OD also, both are same. And the area of triangle we know that half into length into breadth. So here half into AB. Okay. So this is the length of the triangle and this is the breadth of the triangle AD. So this is what we are going to use to arrive at the area of this quadrangle DOEB. Before calculating the area, let us give values for all these sides, children. So now we know OD is equal to U. So OD and AE both are same. So the value of AE will also be equal to U. And also we have derived in equation number 1 that the value of CD is nothing but 80. And we also know CD is equal to BA. So the value of CD is applicable for BA as well, which is also equal to 80. And we know that OE is nothing but the time T. So it is same for AD also, which is nothing but T. So for calculating the area, children, we have the value of all the sides. So let us apply it. So AB is equal to 80, which is AB, we know that it is equal to CD. So both of them have the same value, which is nothing but 80. So applying in the equation, that is applying in calculating the area, we will get S, that is displacement, is equal to AE. AE is nothing but U here and multiply by OE. OE is T and half into AB. AB is nothing but 80. So we are substituting the value 80 and AD. And AD is nothing but T. So substituting these values, we arrive at an equation called S is equal to UT plus half AT square. So this is the equation that gives the relationship between the displacement and time. So this is Newton's second equation of motion. The third relation is the relation between displacement and velocity. So let us derive that as well. If you look at this shape, that is DOEB, this is nothing but a trapezium. You can very well make it out. This is the shape of a trapezium. So now children, we are going to use the formula for trapezium to calculate the area. So area of trapezium is nothing but half into sum of lengths of parallel sides. The parallel sides are nothing but OD and BE. So these are the parallel sides and distance between parallel sides multiplied by distance between parallel sides. So we can very well see that the distance between the parallel side is nothing but T. So let us apply that. So we will come to a formula. Displacement S is equal to half into OD plus BE. These two are the parallel sides multiplied by OE, which is nothing but the distance between the parallel sides. So applying the value of OD, which is U, BE, which is V, and OE, which is T, we will get an equation that is S equal to half into U plus V multiplied by T. So let us name this as equation number 2. Children, we all already know that acceleration A is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity in the given time. On rearranging this equation, we will get T is equal to V minus U by A. So let us name this as equation number 3. So substituting this value of t in equation 2, which is nothing but s equal to half into u plus v multiplied by t. So instead of this value of t, we are going to substitute this value. We are just changing it in terms of velocity, because that is the relation we are going to find. So S is equal to half u plus v multiplied by v minus u upon a. Children, we know that u plus v is equal to v plus u. We know this relation already. So u plus v is equal to v plus u. So we are rewriting this u plus v as v plus u here. So when you get this, so this is rearranged again as v plus u into v minus u, which is equal to 2as. So multiplying these two, we get v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Since we are finding the relationship between velocity and displacement, let us keep v in one side and take everything on the other side. We get the equation v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Hence, we arrived at an equation that gives the relationship between velocity and displacement. So, this is Newton's third equation of motion. Hope you have found it very easy. Let us summarize the points, children. So, Newton's first equation of motion is the equation that gives relationship between velocity and time. So, it is given as v is equal to u plus at. Newton's second equation of motion gives you the relationship between displacement and time, which is s is equal to ut plus half at square. Newton's third equation of motion describes the relationship between velocity and displacement, which is nothing but v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Hope you have enjoyed this deriving relationship using the graphical method, children. There are so many interesting facts we are yet to learn in this chapter. We will meet in the next module. Until then, thank you.